Hi everybody!
Hello everyone.
So I went to Instagram and I said I needed ideas for topics and questions, so I asked people to give me ideas, and one of them was long distance relationships, because if you didn't know, Tim and I were in different states when we met and through dating, and the longest we had been together was on our honeymoon. So we're just going to talk about long distance relationships for a little bit. We'll share our story and then give you guys some advice and tips if you are currently in a long distance relationship or it ever comes up that you want to be in one.
Yes, that's exactly what we'll do, because we are experts when it comes
totally
to a
are
long distance relationship. We were about 3.5 hours away.
Yeah, it wasn't far.
I mean, we could technically leave early in the morning and still get back at night.
Yeah.
But it was long distance because you have to schedule it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we were 20 miles away and like, hey, let's go have lunch. It was more like, hey, I'll see you on the 14th.
So we saw each other basically average, I would say, 3 times a month.
Yes.
So that was our average, and then we snapped a lot. We Snapchatted a lot.
Yes.
And
that was her
texted.
way of flirting with me. In the beginning, she Snapchatted me a lot.
When people approach long distance relationships, I feel like maybe one of the number one things that people have an issue with is communication.
Yeah. Which now in 2019, like, it's so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an app for texting. There's an app for seeing each other's face on video.
FaceTime.
There's like
Yeah.
Zoom, Skype. I mean, if you want to make it work, like, it's the easiest it has ever been
Yes.
to make it work.
I think it helped that I didn't have any insecurities. Like I wasn't in Ohio thinking he was dating other girls in Michigan. So if you are naturally insecure about stuff like that, a long distance relationship might be super stressful for you.
Then you need to talk to your pastor or somebody in your life that can help you walk through that, because insecurity is a whole nother issue.
Yeah, and so a long distance relationship will not help your insecurity. It will only it will only flare it up even more.
Yeah, because I never even like thought that she would ever like cheat on me or date someone else.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, like she was saying, I was secure with myself. I knew I was all that in a bag of chips, and that she wouldn't, you know.
How could I ever think that there was anybody else in the world for me?
That's true. I mean.
And this came off of meeting a guy on another mission trip who ghosted me. And I was actually really shocked when Tim made plans to come see me, and he actually came, because that had happened a couple times. Like, I'm gonna come see you, and then all of a sudden, like,
yeah. I told her I was gonna come see you, and then
he did. He booked the hotel, and he came and saw me. So I think right off the bat, him being like a man of his word was, I've seen him on the missions field, and I knew his character.
On another side, you have to be able to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Because it costs more money to be in a long distance relationship. So if you're broke, it's going to be a little harder.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, thank God I was in a good place, you know. But like, there's a commitment, you know, not only time but financially, you know, because if you do it right, you stay in a hotel room or somebody, you know, you never stay with the person unless you're married. But you know, there's a commitment on both sides. You know, there was one time you had to rent a car to come up here because you had that beast that wouldn't make it 10 miles, so she rented a car. And then, so there's commitments not only with, you know, staying pure and, you know, committing to each other, saying, hey, I'm not going to date anyone else, but saying, hey, you're worth 3 days to me, so I'm going to go spend time because...
Which I think is actually a beautiful part of a long distance relationship, is because you do get kind of like, you see the commitment, like you said, where you put your money where your mouth is. Like, you actually get to see it. Not that you don't in a normal relationship, but it just seems, it takes another level, because like I had to run a car that one time, or you paid for hotel rooms every time you came. And probably one of my favorite things he ever did was, we were texting and he found out that I was at work, and he found out that my sister and I hadn't had lunch. So he ordered
eating problems.
So he ordered and delivered pizza to my work.
Life is short.
That was so sweet. So if you're in a long distance relationship, you can do stuff like that. Send food, send flowers, send a singing telegram.
To every guy that's watching, it's not always about sending flowers. Like, women love food.
We do.
Like,
we do.
Love. Like, you see that shirt, like John Chris, feed me tacos and tell me I'm pretty. Like, that's factual. Like, Go on Grubhub and order her Chipotle. Guaranteed.
Oh yes.
You're in. Like you're in forever.
Yes.
You used to like write me letters, which you know is cute. Love letters and stuff.
I would say if you're going into a long distance relationship, keep in mind that there's a possibility that you will have to relocate. So when I was dating Tim, I had to be totally, completely okay moving to where he was.
Yep.
And if I wasn't going to be okay with that, I should not be dating him.
Yeah.
Even no matter how much I loved him, like if I was like I just can't see myself, my life is here, all these things, I can't see myself being happy moving, then I should have ended the relationship. But before we got married, I put it in my mind because people would always say like, oh, you'll be back, and I would tell them, I was like, yes, but I'm going to purpose in my heart that I am permanently moving to Michigan. Otherwise, I'm going to have this false expectation that one day we're going to move back to Ohio.
Which we did.
Which we did for a little bit, which we'll talk about in another video.
Yep.
But I had to be okay with knowing that I was going to leave home.
Yeah.
So if you...
Sorry.
Are you crying?
No, I just have a twitch. Like something flew in my eye and I've been like blinking like crazy.
If you are in a long distance relationship, you need to think about that. Am I okay with relocating? Do I like where he lives? His apartment when we got married was so bad. I called it the poop apartment because everything was brown. Walls,
couches,
carpet, couch, furniture, everything was brown. Everything. It was just like the worst.
That's also for the guy too, you know, if you're dating a woman who's making 3 times as much as you know, put it in your heart like maybe I should go where she is because don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Gotta pay the bills. So yeah, I think that needs to be on both feet.
So many times people enter relationships and they hold off on the big topics for later.
Yeah.
But it'll save you so much more time and emotional stress and investment if you have bigger talks sooner in the relationship. Like I mean, I laid out very clearly in the very beginning. I wanted to homeschool.
Yep.
I wanted to do home births. I let him know how weird I was up front.
She didn't tell me all of it though.
What do you mean?
Married her and then found out she was super weird. Like, there's weird and there's super weird. But luckily she's like hot nerd weird, you know? So there's like that balance there.
Yeah.
It all evened out.
But I would say that if you are in a long distance relationship, bring up in any relationship
everything.
Start talking about big things sooner than later, because if you get so far down the road and maybe you're already being physical, like kissing and holding hands and all these things, it's going to be so much harder to break off a relationship. You're going to compromise your convictions because of how much you love that person, when your convictions are going to end up causing you to resent that person later on because you had these expectations that aren't being met.
Yep.
It's not good.
And like you were saying, especially with long distance relationships, that the communication has to be like super open.
Yes.
Because you don't get to spend a lot of time with them.
No.
You know, so I wasn't really able to see her spending habits. I wasn't able to see her habits at home.
Right.
You know, from cleaning to dishes to does she go to Chipotle? Like literally, does she go to Chipotle for every meal? Does she go to Starbucks everything? You know, it's just like, hey bud, our dog is right here.
Yeah. Oh gosh, he's gonna jump up. Come on, you wanna be in?
He is super needy. Like, we bought this dog and he's obsessed with me.
Say hi.
Hold on.
Oh. Hi. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we love you guys. We're gonna put you down.
Bye.
All right.
But that's a really good point. In a long distance relationship, you do not see oh wow, this is still moving.
Yeah, it's moving because the dogs are trying to get to me.
The daily habits.
Yeah, which are huge because it's hard long distance of not being able to be there for all the moments.
Yeah.
You know, like
you miss out on stuff.
You miss out on some birthdays. Like now that we're in Michigan, like she's missing out on some of her family things, and you know, it's like, and I missed out on some things that you were probably doing.
If you're even further, like if you're like on the opposite sides of the country, that's going to be even harder, and you have got to communicate. I never lied. Like I told you exactly how I felt. Yeah. Like when you're texting, it's so hard to misinterpret a text because you don't hear their voice. So many times I would say like, well, wait a minute, this made me feel like this, so what did you actually mean? Like, what did you actually mean by this? Or because he's a jokester, so you really have to work on your communication if you're just texting. We barely phone called.
No, because I hate talking on the phone.
We barely called each other, but we never had any fights or arguments, but if you did have a fight or an argument.
I don't think we have had one.
No, we haven't.
Or just that one time.
But I was just an emotional wreck. I would say phone call or FaceTime if you are talking about something really important, deep or heavy. Phone call.
Absolutely.
And say stuff like when we were talking about all these, I had asked him, I was like, so do you have a relationship with pornography? I did not text him that. I asked him that in person. Do you have a relationship with pornography? Have you had a relationship with pornography?
And if you have one, if you're a guy or woman out there, get accountability for that. Because that is, I'm just going to go off on a tangent. Okay, that is one of these sins that people think like, oh, it's just this, it's just that.
Yeah.
Get it under control.
Key takeaways are, number one, if you have insecurities, deal with insecurities.
Yeah.
Number two, listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit. Let him lead you.
Yeah.
Number three, communicate. Communicate. Talk about the hard things first, and talk about those things over the phone or FaceTime. Don't text them.
Like both of you have someone in your life that can speak into you and that you can ask hard questions to as well. Like I have, I'd say 4 or 5 of those guys where I can like actually ask them the hard questions, and a couple of them been there, done that type people.
Be 100% okay with relocating.
Guys and girls.
Whatever, however the Lord leads you.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk and just be like, not even ask God about it. Like, well, she's coming to me because I'm a man.
And you have beanbag chairs and stuff like that, just living in poverty, just like, making spam and.
Why are beanbag chairs like connected to poverty?
I mean, come on,
they're comfy.
That's so bachelor style.
But in closing, if you're in a long distance relationship, it can work and it can be beautiful.
And it's as easy, honestly, as you want it to be. And don't let finances scare you.
No.
Like, if you're struggling, listen to Dave Ramsey. He'll get you straight. He'll make you figure out how to get your money right to go see your woman.
Yeah.
Man, all right?
Yeah.
If you're watching, she has something to say.
We just want to thank you for watching, and we hope that if you are in a long distance relationship or you're thinking about it, that this helps in some way. Okay, we're gonna leave. So thank you for watching. If you want to keep up to date on videos, you can subscribe and
click the button right here. I don't know if you put anything there, but click the button.
I will now, just for you.
Right there.
You can subscribe. You can turn on.
Here.
Stop. You can turn on the little notification bell, which apparently that's helpful.
Be right here. You have to do it.
Stop.
All right, hey, peace out. You probably won't see me in the next one, but
we love you. Thanks for joining.
Peace out.
You're probably their favorite. They don't even want to see me anymore. Bye. Bye. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
You've got
I don't even know any of you. But you're my friend.
Oh, Tim.
Looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed. You just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you